Good morning, good morning. Blakely Dunn here to talk to you guys about fuel. Okay, so I guess this video is going to be more for people that are beginning with me as their coach, but also for people that need a recap or even need a more scientific way of looking at nutrition and the hows and the whys and the whats and all of that. So let me give you a little bit of background for if you're watching this and you don't actually know me and my whole background. So with meal planning and the science behind calories in and calories out and macros and all that, I didn't learn anything about any of that until I did the 21-day fix. And it was very overwhelming for me, and I had a very hard time at overcoming the noise in my head that would make me think it was hard. Once I learned to shut myself up and just focus and do the work, it became easy, and now it's so habit. It's like, not even habit, but I mean, it's like the same as 2 + 2 = 4 in my head. So I'm hoping as I talk about my journey with this stuff, it'll help you realize for you as well. So the first time I did the 21-day fix, which I think was in 2014, which is absolutely insane. I definitely wanted to lose weight. And I did. I lost 8 pounds, I think, with the first round. And I made a huge mistake. A huge mistake that I learned from. And then kept trying to fix, I guess is the word, and still not able to wrap my head around it, no matter how much I was preaching to everyone else that they needed to do it. So with the 21-day fix, which if you're doing 80-day obsession, it's still kind of the same concept, except the math is a little different, and I'll explain that in a second. But you calculate, if you want to lose weight, you calculate for deficit, right? You do the math so that you are eating at a caloric deficit so that you will lose pounds. Without the whats and the whens, in other words, without what you're eating or when you're eating, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. When it comes to weight loss, you lose pounds when you burn, or when your body utilizes 3,500 more calories than you consume. That's how much the deficit has to be to equal a pound. And that's where that math comes from in that calculation. So when you reach your goal weight, you should recalculate for maintenance. Why? Because maintenance is what you need to eat at to maintain your current weight or to improve your fitness levels and to grow muscle. So I actually didn't mean to ignore that the first time I read through. I just kind of missed it. It was like in fine print, and I just kept on eating at maintenance. And then because I was eating at maintenance, and at that time, kept on eating at a deficit, so I was eating somewhere around 1,200 and 1,300 calories a day. I was still, I think at the time I started, I don't remember what program I started back into, but I was doing a program at home and teaching multiple classes a week. And my body was starving and started sending these, bitch, you better not ignore me, you need to eat, urges and signs and symbols that I kept saying to myself, why am I not, or why do I not have a good willpower? Why can I not sustain from eating at night? Why can I not ignore this noise in my brain? Because I was creating it myself, because I was starving myself. So I learned, I don't remember how long it took me. Some other people in here in FitFam may actually remember that for me. But I was like, oh shit, I should have done maintenance. Well, without going into the longest story of ever in the world, I have, because of this cycle, I'd already had a history with binge eating, and having been diagnosed with binge eating disorder. So I kept gaining the weight back and then doing the deficit too long, and then gaining the weight back and then trying new ways of eating to help, clients, and I did carb cycling, and all this stuff kept triggering that urge. Same thing happened to me this last year. Completely obliterated the urge. Got to a place where I didn't even have to calculate brackets or even follow a meal plan. I could listen to my body, and then I hired a coach like a dumbass, and urges came to binge came again. And the reason why is because if you are restricting too much, your body will scream at you that you are. So I'm actually kind of making this video again for Brooke. Brooke, you're the newest one on this journey with me, but also to reiterate over and over and over and over again to people that I keep having to say this to. So, it's not just you. If you have gained weight, let's say you are a 21-day fixer and you have gained weight. If you are still eating in that first bracket, you are lying to yourself, and you're going to make yourself gain more weight and gain more weight because your body is going to scream at you about yourself and that you need to eat. And here's why. As your vehicle, sorry, sitting in a chair. This body is your vehicle. If the bigger your vehicle is, the more fuel it needs to run. Period. Period, period. Food is nothing but energy. That is legit what it is. That is what a calorie is. It's energy. So in order for your vehicle to run efficiently, it needs enough fuel to do so. So think about it like I know my Fit Fam has heard me say this over and over again, but think about it like my boyfriend just bought a Dodge Ram, a 4x4. He has a much bigger engine to run that vehicle than I did to run my Altima. So who needs better fuel and more of it? Him. I hope that makes sense. So it's really hard for people to get because we get conditioned to think about, to lose weight, I need to eat less. To lose weight, I need to eat less. And as we've lived our life doing that, our body goes into this cycle of starving. We're starving ourselves or eating less. Not even necessarily starving ourselves. Eating less so that we can lose weight. And our body is going, excuse me, I'm hungry. I need you to feed me more. And since you're starving me, I'm going to store fat. I'm going to slow my metabolism down. I'm not going to run at my optimum level because I'm scared you're not going to give me any more fuel. Does that make sense? So here's the part that maybe my OGs, I guess, my OGs aren't used to. So I did this 21-day fix for forever. I've done Body Beast and followed that meal plan, which freaked me the fuck out. And so I get my fitness nutrition certification, right? And I learn the ins and outs of that math that we do at the beginning of 21-day fix, Fix Extreme, Insanity Max 30, and now the 80-day obsession. Now I not only get it, but I way get it. And let me explain why. So that first part that you do when you multiply your weight times 11 is your RMR. That is your resting metabolic rate. What that means is that is how many calories you need to just live. To sleep, breathe, bathe, to just live and work. You know, that's with no workouts at all. You know what? I just had a thought. I need to tell my coworker about this. Anyway. And then you have to then you add in your caloric burn. So if you have done 21-day fix, you will notice that 80-day obsession, you're adding in, so with 21-day fix, it was 450. With 80-day obsession, it's 600. First off, the only way to get this accurate is if you have on an accurate, like aside from Autumn, like if it was me and I was training you, is for you to wear the most accurate device to see how much calories you burn when you're exercising. But it's different day in and day out. With 80-day obsession, yesterday I might have burned 200. Today's cardio core, I might crush 600. Who knows? So there's like an average guesstimate that you have to do, especially when you're creating a program for thousands and thousands of people. So 600 was what she went with. Then you subtract, if you're going to do, so from there, if you're going to if you really do need to lose fat, you're going to subtract, I think it's 7. Yep, for phase 1, it's 750. And that gives you that caloric deficit you need. For phase 2 and phase 3, it's less of a caloric deficit. I think, I need to double check the book, but I think it's minus 600 at that. Yeah, minus 750 and then minus 600. It's less. And the reason why, and the reason why you see this 450, this difference is because 21-day fix was 30 minutes every day. These workouts are freaking an hour, okay? She ain't bullshitting. And they're also extremely intense. So, let's talk about me for a second and just use my body as an example. I got to 130 with the Ultimate Reset, and by the time we started 80-day Obsession, I'd gained 1 pound back. So that was 131. My idea, I don't know what my ideal. Wait, if you look at charts and shit, they're gonna say 120. I've been there. I ain't got no ass. I don't like 120. So I usually shoot for 125. And my first inclination was to calculate at bracket A. Well, I smartly did not start the 80-day Obsession with all the rest of the coaches in the world in this test group that I'm in with Autumn. And I watched all of them and talked to them and specifically spoke with Autumn. And she said, if you only have 5 to 10 pounds to lose, then you need to calculate for maintenance. I'm going to explain the whys about all this. So bear with me. This is a little longer. So for me, maintenance, and I've done this math like 5 times. First, before I go on, let me just say, with the fitness nutrition, that math is exactly what we're taught to do for people. The same exact calculation. And Autumn is certified with the same company as me. So, and I'm thinking that that's all. Like Sherry's in here. There's other people in here that are certified fitness professionals, and I could ask them if they're taught the same math to figure out deficits and stuff. But that's what we're taught. That is what MyFitnessPal is going to do for you when you do MyFitnessPal. That's why it adds the exercise back in like that, which confused the shit out of me back into MyFitnessPal days. But anyway, so if I'm to eat at maintenance, I'm Plan C. Well, Plan C is a lot of food for me. And because of my past with trying to eat more, especially when I did Body Beast, I knew that it would throw me for a loop. So I thought, okay, why not meet in the middle of Plan A and Plan C and reverse diet yourself? So as a fitness professional, what we are taught is if you've got somebody that's been starving themselves for 1,000 calories a day for months, and they now have their metabolism is shit, they can't lose weight no matter what they do, we're taught to reverse diet them, which means add in calories slowly, not all at once. Because if you do it all at once, they're going to gain weight and freak the fuck out. So that's what I did. I'm doing Plan B. I'm actually completely satisfied. I'm not hungry. I am a little food bored, but luckily I start a new cycle of food tomorrow. There is other coaches, friends in that group, though, that are like, be careful, day 1 of week 4, you're going to be hungry. And if I get to where my body is telling me, if I start getting those urges, and if I start getting hungry, then I'm going to go up a bracket, and I'm going to go into Plan C. So let me explain why. When you are doing an intense program, this program is intense, but it's not, I haven't done the cardio yet, so, but it's not like insanity level to me. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm beating my body up. But it's also a lot of muscle building, even though we're using a little evil ass loop that just is, you know, we've had lift heavy in your brain the last couple of years. It's hard to wrap your brain around that. But these are intense workouts. The only way your body is going to lose size with intense workouts like that is if you eat enough to fuel those intense workouts. And if you don't eat enough to fuel the intense workout, then your body is going to break down muscle instead of fat. And then you're just going to be sitting there working against yourself. And what's going to happen with that is exhaustion, crankiness, binge eating, injury. Because if you're not eating enough to properly fuel your body's functions. We get so wrapped up in getting smaller and losing weight. And reality is we literally eat to live. That's it. And if we're putting ourselves through workouts like this and we don't eat properly, then we're not living correctly for our body. We're not doing right by our body. So, with that said, I know it's a lot of food. I know it's extremely hard to wrap your brain around the fact, especially if you are in the higher brackets of E, D, E, or F. Or especially if you were once in a bracket A and you now need to be eating more. It's so hard to wrap your brain around. It's also, you're like, it just seems like too much fucking food and I just can't eat all this and I'm going to get fatter. And then you just have all these self-deprecating thoughts in your brain and you put yourself in this negative headspace and you go back to old habits. So I want you to remember 3 things. You started this challenge for a reason. You started this challenge to obliterate bad habits and use new ones and to create new ones and to lose weight. This program is created not only by Autumn, but also by a team of certified nutritionist professionals. Not just somebody thinks she's know what she's doing. These people support her and help her. It ain't all Autumn. Autumn is mostly, she did create the program. I give her that. She did. She came up with the containers and shit. She's a smart little chick. Smart little chick. But she's the face of a lot of people that came together to create this. I love the fact that she says that in these test groups. I also love the fact that I'm watching her be a coach with this test group. In other words, she's getting in there with these people in this test group and talking to them just like I am y'all. And that is helping me from a mentor standpoint because I've only seen other coaches, Beachbody coaches, do that. And it's a little different coming from Autumn. Sometimes I'm afraid to give tough love. Sometimes I'm afraid to say, just fucking do it. And she will. She gets all up in that live camera and says, I'm seeing you whine and I'm seeing you whine. You need to shut the fuck up and do it the way I said. This is a test group. I'm going to say the same thing to you, but a little bit nicer. Stop doubting the process and do what the woman said. If it says eat and that plan, eat your food and stop complaining about it. I don't understand people to this day that don't want to eat food. Eat it. Okay? I know it's hard, especially when you're new at this. For some people, if you are new to fitness, then trying this, or, and new to trying to trying to follow a meal plan, this may not be for you because it is a little hard to wrap your brain around. Although I find it easier when she tells me exactly what to eat when versus having all these containers and me figure out what to eat when. I find that easier. And it drives me more. The times drive me to stick to it more as well so far. So let me explain the time nutrition because we study that as well. I'm going into 17 minutes. I'm going to try really hard to make this quick. If you've been hearing, and then for me, my whole life, I do fasted cardio. Not because I think it's going to help me lose weight, but just because I didn't like to eat before a workout. We have been geared to learn to not to eat before a workout, right? Either because of our schedule, or because of what society has taught us, or because of the fact that it would make me nauseous if I ate too big of a meal before an intense workout. I'm not having an issue so far. We'll see about today because it's cardio. Let's say you ate last night and the last meal you had was at 7 p.m. because that's when normal people go to bed. And then, you work out today at 5. Your body has used its fuel already. So if you're doing an extremely intense workout, the energy and the fuel that you had for that workout has now been depleted. Let's say you, okay, so there's that. And that is why you eat a red, a yellow, and a green. It's a full meal. And just so you know, carbs in this program are split into vegetables, fruits, and grains, the yellow. Those are all carbs. So just because you only get so few yellows does not mean that it's a low-carb meal plan, because it's not. It's broken down into 40, 30, 30. 40% protein, 30% carbs, 30% fat. And that is what we're recommend to people with my studies. I was honestly like the whole time just going, damn, this is all just a 21-day fix I'm learning. I already knew this shit. I didn't need a certification. I'm certified. It really kind of blew my mind. So when I meal plan for people, I'll tell you a little tip. I use the 21-day fix. Mostly. Not completely. Also, if you're a person that is going, I can't eat my yellows. I can't eat my yellows because they make me fat. I can't eat my... Okay, maybe grains don't agree with you. Maybe you need to eat just sweet potatoes for your yellow, or oats, or rice. Do not skip your yellows. I'm tired of having to say that. Carbs are not the enemy. They are what your body need. Period. Period. All I'm eating is carbs. That's all I eat besides some eggs, man. Eat your carbs. Those people with PCOS, I studied this in the thing. Doctors drill it into your brain that you can't eat carbs and you can't eat fruit and you can't. They are full of fucking shit. They're full of shit. They are so fucking full of shit. It's like my biggest pet peeve in the world. Should we eliminate bad carbs? And I'm going to use the word, or let's say processed carbs. Yes. Yes. We don't need that shit. But carbs that fuel our body, like whole wheat, you know, barring you don't have grain issues. Some people do. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, corn, and organic corn in my opinion. Whole grains, rice, oats. Eat that shit. Okay, stop screaming about that one. That's just, God, it just gets under my damn nerves. So I'm moving on. The reason why you do that, and then, so that's the first part of your workout block. Then you have a post-workout snack. This one is the most important one. So like people like Melissa that has an early morning job, and I knew this was going to be hard for her. Like if Terry was to do this program, we'd have to figure something out for him too, because he has to get up real early. I get that. Honestly, I would struggle with it as well. I may on Saturdays and Sundays. I haven't tried it yet. We finna see. The most important meal is the post-workout snack. A protein and a carb and a teaspoon. These 3 macros are the macros that are going to help your body repair muscle immediately and restore that, start working on repairing them. So I don't know if you knew this, but the way you build muscle is by ripping it apart. And then it heals together and gets bigger and rips it apart. And it gets stronger and stronger. Basically, you break it down so that your body can repair it. You need proper fuel to do that. Carbs, not just protein. Carbs. So that's why there's the fruit right there. And then the next post-workout meal, which is within a 1 to 2 hour window, is your next important. If you can't do the pre-workout meal, those are your 2. The posts are your 2 most important. You do not have to be drinking. Now, I'm not going to lie. I've drank Recover and I've done Recharge. I don't know about the Hydrate. But the Recover and the Recharge and the Energize, they are extremely helpful. And if I could afford them, I would be buying them. Especially the Recover and the Recharge. Like, they just help take away your soreness. And then it's almost obvious that your muscles are recovering faster. It's incredible to me. But I don't have the money for that. So I don't buy it. So I'm trying to get it from Natural Foods. And this is, again, something I learned all about in fitness nutrition. If you are not feeding your body, let me just recap really fast. If you are not feeding your body appropriately with enough fuel for your muscles to repair and regenerate after you've broken them down, your body's metabolism is going to shut down and store fat. And your body is going to eat muscle instead of fat. And you're not going to see the results you want. So, stop guessing it. Stop pretending you have a degree. You have not been doing shit right up until now in nutrition and fitness, right? That's why you started this program. Do what she says. My tough love for the day.